Good morning, my mishpachah, my friends, my family, my brothers and my sisters. I woke up this morning thinking about how people claim that they feel they feel like I'm gonna be struck down by the Most High for saying the things I've been saying about the image of the beast. And I don't know, maybe you feel the same way, maybe you do. And if you do, hear me out. Are you able to hear what I'm about to say? Can you at least just listen to what I'm about to say? If you're someone who's thinking he's so wrong, he's talking about the Most High's holy people. He's going to be cursed. He's anyone who comes against the Most High's people is cursed. That's what they're saying. Is that what you're saying? And if that's what you're saying, that's fine. But can you hear what I'm about to say? Would you have said that to the Messiah, Yahusha? Would you have said that to him when he called the leaders of Israel a den of vipers? And that their father was Satan? And if their father was his father, Yahuwah, they would know him. Would you have told him that? And what a coincidence that the verse of the day is what it is. And if you've been thinking, like a lot of people have, that I'm going to get struck down or that I'm going to be cursed for talking about the Most High's people when I've never talked about the Most High's people, not one time. I've promoted. I'm here this morning to share this good news of the rain with the Most High's people. I love the Most High's people. I'm exposing those who say they are Yahudim but lie. Watch what 2 John chapter 1 has to say. Verse 6, the verse of the day. And this is the love that we walk according to his commands. That this is the command, that as you have heard from the beginning, you should walk in it. Now, we could get the context, but you can see that he's talking up here at the top. He's addressing who he's writing this letter to, about the people, the lady, Curia, as though I wrote a fresh command to you. Okay, now look, right after that verse we just read, the verse of the day, verse 6, and this is the love that we walk according to his commands. This is the command that as you have heard from the beginning, you should walk in it. Because many who are leading astray went out into the world who do not confess Yahushua Messiah as coming in the flesh. Does anybody know anyone who does that? Does the government of Israel that you're claiming I'm going to be struck down for talking about, do they claim that the Messiah has came in the flesh? Do they? I don't think they do they? This one is he who is leading astray and the anti-Messiah. See to yourselves that we do not lose what we worked for. And we know what we've worked for, what this whole Bible's been about, what the Most High's been leading and guiding us to this whole time. We know. But that we might receive a complete reward. Everyone who is transgressing and not staying in the teaching of Messiah, the Lamb, come in, come out, does not possess the Most High. The one who stays in the teaching of Messiah possesses both Father and the Son. If anyone comes to you and does not bring this teaching, do not receive him into your house, nor greet him, for he who greets him shares in his what? His wicked works. Okay, now let's talk. Do you still want to talk? Do you still claim that I'm going to be cursed or struck down for talking about these people that we're not even supposed to associate with unless we want to share in their wicked anti-Messiah works? Was Messiah cursed because he told them how it was that they were a den of viper and that their father was Satan? Was he? He wasn't, was he? Is he cursed because he said he was giving up those who say they are Yahudim but lie? He told us that after they killed him, these ones that you worship and fear, after they killed him, that was the final straw right there on the camel's back. The Most High caused that place to be destroyed. That's why the Messiah said, take a look around at these buildings. There ain't gonna be one brick on top of another until it's all fulfilled. Not one stone. Well, and yet, even though he said that, yet, miraculously, there's still that Western Wall that you Christians marvel at. You marvel at those people who are anti-Messiah, who would cut your head off today, yesterday, if they could, if they didn't need your pocketbook. You marvel at them standing in front of that wall that's been proven by a plethora of historians and archaeologists to be the remnants of the Roman fort Antonia. It's not the remnants of the temple. It's not the Temple Mount. It's the Fort Antonia. You marvel at that wall, even though the Messiah told you there would be no bricks, nothing left. But yet you think that that's the wall. And you marvel at these people rocking back and forth that stuck papers in the cracks of that wall. Straight worshiping a wall, a Roman fort. And yet you still believe that that's part of the wall when the Messiah told us that there would be nothing left. And there is nothing left. And John's telling us right here to not receive anyone like that. And yet, what's happening right now? I'm bringing Messiah damn near every day to you, the Lamb, the truth, and you're rejecting it in order to receive anti-Messiah, the house of the dragon, the house of the thief, the lies. You refuse to look at the truth because you would rather live lies. We're to have nothing to do with those people. Nothing. Now, before I let you go, I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that we shouldn't even be talking to those people. If they don't confess that the Messiah has came in the flesh, do not greet those people. Or was John lying? Or would you rather just keep swinging from their necktie all day, every day, for the rest of your life? These anti-Messiahs that would cut your head off. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's who I'm talking about. I ain't getting cursed for talking, exposing them. Or otherwise, John will, Messiah would be, everybody would be in the Bible, would be cursed. No, you're cursed, my friend. But before, I wanted to bring that to your attention, to what John had to say about it. But before I let you go, I want to read this article from the Deseret News here, just confirming all the more what I've been saying about this place here, Utah, this great, mighty land of Utah. How it is where you would want to be right now in the present. Okay? And the difference between the two, okay? The argument right now is that I'm telling you a lie and I'm going to be cursed because I'm talking about Israel that was born through the Rothschilds okay? The Chaldeans, who don't believe in Messiah, who would kill you for believing in Messiah if they could, if they didn't need your money right now and your support. The argument is that I'm lying and that Utah ain't in, okay? What do we have to go on? That place as a whole is anti-Messiah. It's the congregation of Satan. Their logo on their flag represents the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It represents you being God. That's what it represents, among other nasty things. And this place over here in Utah, it's full of people who know that the Messiah has came in the flesh. The whole government, the governor, all the senators, everybody here knows that the Messiah has came in the flesh, and they're waiting for him to set up his throne right here in this valley. That would get you killed in Israel's law if they could have it their way. They'd kill everybody here for thinking that the Messiah has came in the flesh. But go ahead, you tell me that I'm going to be cursed for exposing them, and that I shouldn't talk about them, and that this place is wrong. But I've been telling you how this place is if civil war breaks out, whatever happens, this is where you would want to be. This is where the protection is. You're surrounded by miles and miles of mountains and wilderness. Nobody's going to come out here more than likely. And the people who are here, they're not going to kill you or rob from you. They're going to give to you, because they're doing all things as unto the Most High, except for one problem. They still rock Babylon, and they must not realize it. But that's why I can't remember where it was. I think it's Proverbs. The Most High's talking about the wedding supper and how it looks. And he says that he looks and he sees a man who wasn't invited to the wedding, who isn't wearing wedding garments. And he says, bind him hand and foot and throw him outside the city gates. So he was talking about someone who thought they were going to come here, but they're not clothed in wedding garments. They're not clothed in righteousness. He says that in Revelations that the people there was people in the end, in the latter days, that who wash their robes and they come out of the great distress. We know what the distress is. It's the hiding of the truth, of coming home, the Lamb of our true home, all that. So when we come home, we're doing it right. We're following that path. Those are and we leave our garments. We ungird the loins of those sovereigns off of us. Revelation chapter 12, he says that the woman is clothed in the sun worship. Like if we had to judge everybody by like a book by their cover, the Christians, they rock Babylon. Most of the people rock Babylon. These Mormons, they're still rocking Babylon, even though they know, and I think they know that they came here and know that this was the promised land in order, like I've been saying, in order to create this cushion for us who truly want to come here and serve him. And we know this is our home. We follow the Lamb. That's why they're here. But he's not going to allow this Babylon worship to continue on here in Utah. But as far as you wanting somewhere, you thinking about where you're living right now, like this election that's coming up, if you're thinking about, like, if you live in a blue state or whatever, but you really want to be in a conservative state where there's other Christians and values and standards and stuff, this is the only place in the world you could go to where it's safe, where the population, where the governing body, they believe that the Messiah has came in the flesh. Over there, you're greeting a bunch of people who would kill you for saying those words. This is so simple to figure out, guys. But the world has been made drunk with the wine of the wrath of her whoring. Do you see? They're made drunk. They won't look at this truth because that would involve them admitting that I'm right, and they ain't going to do that. They would never dream of doing that. They'd rather just end it all to do that. See, this comes down to pride and humility. But let me read a little of this Desiree article to you. 12 ways Utah is leading the nation according to the data. It's more than economic strength, charitable giving, religiosity, and limited alcohol consumption. On a number of other variables, this mountain state stands out in its overall well-being, productivity, and quality of life. For the third year in a row, Yahuta was named the #1 state in America by U.S. News and World Report's Best States rankings for 2024. That ranking is based on 70 metrics across 8 categories, with Utah leading in so many indicators that it rose to the top once more, summarized in their report why Utah is the best state in America again, baby. And I'm here to tell you that he ain't exaggerating, that it is. That comprehensive review, however, only looked at a subset of data points available with other meaningful variables examined elsewhere. On top of those areas identified in the U.S. News and World Report rankings, the Desiree News scoured other research to gather the best evidence below. Scoured. Should we all be doing that? I don't know. Demonstrating other ways the Beehive State is uniquely excelling across the nation. Having a state economy and fiscal stability that leads the nation would be enough to elicit curiosity, along with standout upward mobility and economic equality. But add to that repetitive evidence of unusual health and well-being for residents. It's the pleasant place. It's the perfect. Everything about it's perfect. Along with the nation's lowest drug and alcohol abuse. It's full of people who know the Messiah came in the flesh. At least they got that going for them, right? If we're keeping score, I'm taking the points on that one. My argument is, right? On who believes the Messiah came in the flesh, and your town over there, your city, it went in the hole on that one. To say nothing of its unusual charitable giving and volunteerism, noticeable education, excellence, and social cohesion regarded across the country. Common underlying elements. Clearly, none of these variables operate independently in a vacuum, representing different elements of a synergistic social ecosystem built on certain fundamentals. What are those fundamentals? The Messiah has came in the flesh. And the best part is, see, when this Civil War, and I haven't watched the movie Civil War, but I've been watching more and more clips of it. And I'm realizing what it's about. It's it shows those army guys, and they're asking them at gunpoint, like, what kind of an American are you? And the one guy says he's from Hong Kong, and he shoots him right away. And the other one says he's from like El Salvador or something, and he shoots him. He's like, what kind of America? And the girl says, I'm from Colorado. And the guy that's shooting, he's like, yeah, that's America right there. He's talking about that. That's what this is going to come down to. That's why they flooded our borders with all these migrants. That's what's happening. It's going to be a civil war. There's going to be all these Trumpers. If something happens to Trump, whatever, they're gonna be so mad. They've created such a shit storm here, and we're about to reach the climax of it. But if that were to happen, okay, Where are you going to go where you're surrounded by those who believe the Messiah came in the flesh? And this is the best part. And where they're waiting for him to come to that spot to set up the throne. Where are you going to go? There's only one spot, and it's called Utah. And that place over there, they're not waiting for the Messiah to come back. They hate the Messiah. They can't stand that shit. You know, this is a joke. The joke's on you if you don't believe this. The joke's on you if you don't go take it from the top in all the books, all the prophets. If you don't go read 2nd Esdras and Enoch and see that the land would be in confusion, that we would think the place he placed his name would be on the other side of the planet, of the earth, whatever you want to call it. And that there would be a city saying that she's it, that the world would marvel at, that received a deadly head wound, but yet lived, yet them bricks still stacked, even though Messiah said they wouldn't be, somehow. And I'm supposed to be cursed and struck down because I'm talking about the den of vipers, the children of Satan. The joke is on you if you believe all that crap. You best take it from the top. You best get the context right now. And don't waste no more time. We ain't got much time. I'm sure of it. And how you can know if you've been made drunk by the wine of the wrath of her whoring. If you can't open this word to find out if it's true. If you accuse me of stuff that's obviously not true. If you're saying I'm talking about the Most High of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's people, putting them down, when I'm not, clearly I'm not. Clearly I'm talking about those of the anti-Messiah spirit who we're not to even greet. We're not to be fooling with them. The Messiah told us that. Anyone who says he hasn't come in the flesh is anti-Messiah. Shake the dust off of your feet and leave them be. This is why the Messiah said there'll be two at the millstone, one taken, one left. Two in the field, two on the rooftop, two in the bed. That's not the rapture. That's not one woman that said a believer in the field and one who ain't, and the believer gets raptured away. No, he's talking about two cities. Two cities. One taken, one left. Wake up.